All right, we are good to go. Good evening, afternoon, everyone. This is the Burlington City Council meeting number 16. This is August 17th, 2026, 5:30 p.m. in the Thomas J. Smith Council Chambers, City Hall, 400 Washington Street. If you would all please stand and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance. All right, roll call, please.
Weiss,
Here.
Wilson,
Here.
Billups, Kreitzer.
Here.
Scott.
Yes.
All right. First on the agenda, we have a proclamation recognizing the 160th anniversary of Union Baptist Church Full Gospel Fellowship. Whereas Union Baptist Church Full Gospel Fellowship has served Burlington since 1866, providing a place of worship, fellowship, spiritual formation, and community connection for generations of residents. And for 160 years, the congregation has sustained a faithful presence in Burlington, carrying forward a legacy of prayer, service, perseverance, and care for individuals and families. And whereas Union Baptist Church Full Gospel Fellowship declares its mission as saving souls, transforming lives, taking Burlington for Jesus, and exists to see people throughout the greater Burlington area saved and their lives transformed for the glory of God. And whereas the church continues to welcome and equip people of all ages through worship, baptism, children's church, nursery ministry, membership and orientation opportunities, and other avenues for connection and discipleship. And whereas from its home on 220 South Central Avenue, Union Baptist Church Full Gospel Fellowship contributes to the spiritual and civic fabric of Burlington by encouraging faith, strengthening families, building relationships, and extending compassion within the community. And its enduring ministry reflects the dedication of generations of pastors, leaders, members, families, volunteers, and supporters who have preserved its heritage while preparing the congregation to serve future generations. And whereas Union Baptist Church Full Gospel Fellowship will celebrate its 160th anniversary on Sunday, August 23rd, 2026, making a significant milestone in the religious community history of Burlington. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City Council of the City of Burlington, Iowa, hereby recognizes and celebrates the 160th anniversary of Union Baptist Church Full Gospel Fellowship, and extends sincere congratulations and appreciation to the congregation and to all past and present pastors, leaders, members, families, and supporters whose faith and service have sustained this historic church for 16 decades. Be it further proclaimed that the citizens of Burlington are encouraged to join in recognizing Union Baptist Church Full Gospel Fellowship and its lasting contributions to the spiritual life, fellowship, and well-being of our community. Signed and sealed the 17th day of August, 2026. Test Katie Music, City Clerk, and John Billups, Mayor. Congrats. I'm not sure who is. If you'd like to say any words you can, or however many words you want to say. Okay, we're grateful. You're good. Thank you very much. Very good, amazing. And you all are more than welcome to skedaddle if you want.
No, I'm doing select.
All right, at this time, we will take comments from the audience. If there's anybody in the audience who has anything, any concerns or anything like that, we can certainly hear you out, but we may not be able to have a back and forth discussion on it. But you're more than welcome to approach.
Somebody's got to do it. Terry Snack, 2617 Sunrise Lane in Burlington. Last Friday night, my cruise night in Crapo Park didn't quite go as planned because Mother Nature had other plans for us. So we do have 2 more scheduled. The next one is Friday, September 4th at 5 o'clock, and there is another one on Friday, October 2nd at 5 o'clock. We encourage people from the community to bring out their classic cars, trucks, motorcycles, daily drivers, skateboards, scooters, whatever. Bring friends. We've got a few little activities planned and stuff, so we just want to try to resurrect memories of cruising Crapo Park, so thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Anyone else? No? Okay. Next, we have the consent agenda. All matters listed under item 1, consent agenda. Well, I guess I go through them first, right? On the consent agenda, we have finances and miscellaneous, minutes of previous meetings, payroll and city claims, beer, liquor, wine, and cigarettes, reports and bonds, and we have 5 resolutions. The first was resolution approving nuisance abatements for various properties, resolution approving training agreement. The third is a resolution approving final acceptance and final payment for the wastewater treatment facility redundant influent line project. Resolution number 4, resolution approving the FY27 Enhanced Security Services Memorandum of Understanding with the Iowa Department of Management. And the last is a resolution awarding bid for the Central Fire Station garage door replacement project. If there's anybody from the audience who would like any of these removed from the consent agenda? Anyone on council? Okay.
You have to read it.
Yeah, all matters listed under item 1 consent agenda having been discussed are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Your Honor, a motion to approve all listed under item 1 consent agenda.
Second?
Weiss,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Kreitzer,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
All right, next we have hearings. Consideration of an ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 36 Economic Development Advisory Board of the City of Burlington Municipal Code.
So we're just making a few changes to the ordinance to reflect how we actually operate. We are going to elect a chairperson now every 2 years instead of every year because we just don't meet that often. And then we would like to change that we don't meet 4 times a year, but that maybe just as deemed necessary by the chairperson. This is the amount of money that was set aside for the economic development. So sometimes we haven't gotten a lot of requests in the last few years, so we just aren't meeting as much. One is the state has eliminated their, it's not targeted jobs, but their job, the matching requirement and
Right.
the incentives. So we don't have a lot of options to spend the money.
Right.
Any questions?
Any questions from the audience, comments?
I would ask the council at the next meeting to waive second and third and adopt.
I would, yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
I would be fine with that. Any comment?
I would add, I had brought up with the board at the last meeting, besides these changes to even consider eliminating the board. Again, like Stephanie had said, we have very few requests. They're an advisory board, and it seems that we're going in a different direction as far as incentives with TIF and et cetera. And that rather than tie up the funds and the personnel in that, then it may be better that we eliminate that group. That wasn't received well. I mean, they weren't angry about it, but it was, they thought they still had some impact. And I agree they do, but I don't know, and in particular, the comment that Joel Sharon had made to me was that he had had a conversation with the city manager, and we were not funded this year, the $50,000 that had been the traditional funding, and he said that the city manager pointed out, well, we do have reserve funds if that's necessary. Well, if that's not in their control, that's in the council's control and the staff's recommendation. So again, that's just a step further away from that group than what they may be necessary for. It's a good group of people, honest, great citizens. They put a lot of thought into it, but I'm just think that maybe we should have a discussion on that as a council if that's really necessary to keep that ordinance and keep that organization going. So, can't make that decision tonight. I just want to throw
Yep.
that in there while we're
No,
on the
yep.
topic. So,
Yep, put it out there.
Your Honor, I have a motion to close.
Second,
Weiss,
yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Kreitzer,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes. Your Honor, a motion for preliminary adoption of the first reading of an ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 36 Economic Development Advisory Board for the City of Burlington Municipal Code.
Second.
Weiss,
Yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Kreitzer,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes. Your Honor, a resolution ratifying bond purchase agreement providing for the issuance of $17,125,000 general obligation corporate purpose bond series 2026A, and providing for the levy of taxes to pay the same.
Second,
Mayor Pro Tem and Council, so we have a bond purchase agreement and supporting documents. There are actually several documents that go behind this resolution. So there's the authorizing resolution, there's a loan agreement, registrar and paying agent agreement, continuing disclosure certificate, and some other documents in there. But the bond purchase agreement is for several parts and pieces, as we've previously discussed, in the amount of $17,125,000. There's essential purpose loan agreement not to exceed $16,750,000 for flood protection improvements, acquiring and equipping ambulances and other vehicles for municipal public works. That'll be for the ambulance and the bucket truck for the forestry department, street department, and et cetera. Then there's a general obligation corporate purpose, and that's for the Recplex field lighting not to exceed $400,000. And all of these have been discussed through the budget process or the CIP process, just for the sake of the public. These aren't new items. We've been talking about them for 6 or 9 months, yeah, or in some cases, years. There's an essential purpose loan agreement, number 2, not to exceed $6 million for constructing streets and sidewalks, and acquiring and installing street lighting, signage, and signalization. That would be for the Summer Street project. And then there's general purpose loan agreement not to exceed $400,000. That's for the station alerting system for the fire department. And then finally, in an amount not to exceed $7 million, that is the result of the general obligation bond referendum for the fire station. There's a lot of other information in here. If you have questions, I think I've gone through some of this before, but happy to answer any questions, but that's the basics.
Okay. Do we have any comments or questions from the audience? Any
Been a lot of discussion.
Yeah, we've talked about each item over and over,
Yeah.
so.
Robert.
Oh. Okay.
Okay,
Let's
ready?
vote.
Weiss,
Yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Kreitzer,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution approving agreement for professional services for the Burlington Regional
Second.
Replex Project. I'm sorry. I got my tongue twisted.
This professional service agreement, primary purpose is for the couple projects that we have planned in the FY '28 budget that have been in there for a couple years. The restroom concession project has been pushed out of the budget the last 2 years, and then the playground project at the Recplex. Confluence will provide design concepts, rendered plans, and opinion of probable cost for those improvements. We asked them to evaluate if there's any other opportunities for improved revenue in this area. As previously budgeted, the batting cages are being removed from the Recplex. They've been out of service the last year and a half. We have other opportunities in our community now with Line Drive, so that has decreased some of the use, and the maintenance cost on it has just increased the last number of years. So really evaluating this area at the entrance for the restroom concession, the secondary site, and then the playground, as well as are there other opportunities. I know they've mentioned some in the outline of their proposal, but just looking at other opportunities for revenue creation in this area at the Recplex. But want to ensure with these projects, especially the restroom concession being pushed back a couple years through the budget, that it's appropriate funding levels and having appropriate design for the needs going into budget season this coming fiscal year. Funding is available through the Starker funds for these projects, and as mentioned, provide us a good plan moving into the budget cycle this coming year.
Any comments or questions from the audience? Council? Okay. All right.
Weiss,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Kreitzer,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing participation in the fiscal year '26 Innovative Coordinated Access and Mobility Grant Program.
Second.
This item I discussed at the end of the work session last week, but it's an addition to the agenda. This is a grant proposal through the Iowa DOT. It's the ICAM grant, as Councilwoman Kay laid out the innovative care piece. So it is a grant that we would submit through the DOT. They would be the primary recipient. The Burlington Urban Service, City of Burlington would be a sub-recipient. And so what I've proposed is that we ask for the total project cost is $175,000. The federal grant would be $140,000, $35,000 in match coming from the City of Burlington. I hadn't really outlaid my plans maybe to you about this, but as we walk into the next fiscal year, we portion out funds every year for a bus replacement. And I have a vehicle replacement kind of planned in the grant proposal. And so I would just use essentially our match dollars for a vehicle for the overall grant cost, the total cost. In there, so I'll hit on the vehicle. I have planned for a heavy-duty van, kind of a plug-in hybrid. We already have 2 heavy-duty vans that we use for handicap paratransit. So I could see us moving into another one of those. The larger portion of it is a technology piece. So right now, a large portion of how we provide service is via the phone from residents or riders calling in for a ride, lining that up, and then walkie-talkie and paper copies. And sometimes there's error in that type of function. And so the goal is to get a web-based, app-based type request service, but also kind of a call list for the people that are on the buses to be able to see who they have and where they have people to pick up, and that can be updated relatively quickly. And so to try and get a little bit more efficiency from the office staff being able to not answer the phone, the whole time they're at the desk, to try and do some other things. So I hope I explained that, but in the end of the day, I'm just trying to get some of the software and another vehicle lined up, so.
Very good. Council, any questions?
No, I just say this timing's pretty good. It's only been a couple of weeks ago that someone was on Facebook complaining about about part of the service for handicapped individuals. And I had encouraged them to contact us so they could learn more about it. This just enhances that program, looks like to me.
So to me, the goal would be to try and figure out a way that, with this, to tell us the true numbers. To me, a transit system should be able to adjust to the needs of the people that are riding it. Unfortunately, we've been fairly stagnant in our function for a lot of years. I think there's the ability to adapt the way we've done things, and some of that could mean extension of time of service. So I did also reach out to the individual. Some of the information wasn't exactly provided to her accurately. We do only provide service until, the last drop-off is in the 5 o'clock hour. I've heard over the years that there needs to be some service for individuals that are trying to get to or from second and third shift type work. So with this type of system, if the rides could be requested through an app, and we know that we have a certain number of rides lined up for an evening, there is that potential. To me, the real piece on the back end is the cost savings. Is there a way that we can derive some sort of cost savings by only having certain buses out on the road to fit our new style of transportation? So to me, it's part of the piece to try and get this technology into our service so we can figure out a way to better adapt.
Perfect.
Yeah, sounds great. Any comments or questions from the audience? All right, I see none.
Weiss,
Yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Kreitzer,
Yes, please.
Scott.
Yes.
All right. We are nearing the end, and now we are going to go to comments from staff. Anything finance? Brittany, anything? Please. I know, I don't know the order. I like to mix it up when I'm here.
Just a reminder that we will be closed to the public tomorrow all day. We will reopen on Wednesday at 9 a.m., at which point the Americans and the Holocaust exhibit opens, and it will be on display through September 30th. If you're not doing anything on Wednesday evening at 4:30, you're welcome to join the Board of Trustees meeting. Otherwise, we will have a ribbon cutting with some light appetizers and some mingling at 6 o'clock for the exhibit. That's it.
All right, thank you. Yes? You knew you were next.
I don't really have a purpose right now, but I did want to explain something that's very interesting to me. That's what this is about.
Okay.
So our collection system has 12 minor lift stations, residential lift stations. And we have one, there's one here, I think it serves about 20, 22 houses, our Gulf Lane lift station. And then the bottom right picture there is inside the station, it's below grade. But you can't get a good picture in there. There's a lot of stuff going on in there, so you can't really get back a ways and take a good picture. But this has been installed since before Elvis joined the Army, and it's been in operation since then. There's virtually no change except for some compressor work or whatever, but the components are crazy expensive. We end up doing the machining, from a local person or
Yep.
make our own parts for them now. That picture right there on the bottom right, that's a piston valve that is roughly $25,000 just for that little thing, size of a Pringles can.
Yep.
Go ahead and move to the next one. So this is the design of the thing, and what's interesting is, of course, there's no VFD or PLC, I don't know, VFD, variable frequency drive, programmable logic control. There's no SCADA, no touch screens. And the interesting thing here is that there's no submersible pumps at all, like all of our lift stations have. They're either submersible or dry well. This is all run by air, and this design has existed for 140 years. The compressor would run on steam, but now we're using regular compressors. But basically, by gravity, the sewage enters the pot of that tank, and there's a concrete float. It's actually a float because it has a counterweight. I don't know if you can see that round thing on top. But as the level comes up, a pilot valve is actuated, and then that in turn actuates the piston valve. And the tank becomes sealed with that movement, and a large a bit of compressed air enters the area above that water level and pushes it down the force main. So it's very interesting to me. All departments have their oldest piece of equipment. I think this is our oldest piece of equipment. And it's actually on the CIP for fiscal year 30 to replace it with a normal style. I'm reluctant to do that because it's really neat, so.
Right. If it's still working, it's hard to.
And it's still working, yeah.
It's hard to, yeah, I get that.
That's all.
Do they make systems like this anymore? Like new?
I don't even know.
I don't, yeah, I would
Yeah.
imagine not.
Yep.
If it lasts this long, it's not good for business.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Hey, Tim,
Yeah.
so any idea what this cost new?
Uh,
And what are you looking at in 2030 for the CIP for replacement?
The cost?
Mm-hmm.
Probably, I'd have to guess at like 160,000 maybe.
Okay.
Actually, now I do recall, I take back one of the things I said. I did see this unit for sale, or not for sale, but it was on the market for $72,000, I
Yeah.
think, which that's really not that bad, but the other components are really
Yeah.
cashy.
Yeah. Especially if they're not in production really anymore.
No.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
Yep.
What do we have from Parks and Development?
Just want to thank our forestry and park staff for cleanup of some trees, down trees in the parks, getting that up and running fairly quickly, and also our staff at the Recplex and Golf Course trying to manage through the rain and maintain those facilities. And then also wanted to, I guess, let council know we did formally, receive our $1 million grant award from the EPA on Tuesday in Keokuk. Chad and Nick and I went down to accept that. That's for the Klein Center brownfield cleanup, as well as some site assessments and area planning here in the community. So we'll be undertaking those efforts over the next 12 to 18 months.
Sounds good, thank you. Anything?
Nothing.
Police chief.
So I just wanted to remind everybody that next Monday, August 24th, all Burlington public and private schools go back into session. Please be looking out for kids crossing the street, school buses picking up and dropping off, and then also be aware of the school speed zones that go back into effect beginning Monday. Also, next week, we are the host agency for a week-long canine recertification training. Please don't be alarmed when you see several out-of-town police canines from West Virginia, Kansas.
Exciting.
Several from area, southeast Iowa departments, but they'll be in town for a 5-day canine recertification training.
Are we having show and tell?
They don't call it that. Training.
I know, but can we have?
Can we go watch
We'll be doing
somewhere?
that.
No. All right, Chief.
They're not for petting.
Just a friendly reminder and happy to announce that this week officially kicks off our Citizens Fire Academy. So it started with an 8-week course, starts on Thursday. Just another great opportunity to continue educating our community members on the department service, but also emergency services. So that's it, just looking forward to that.
Awesome. Great, thank you. Nick, please.
Well, I'll address the big one off the top. I sent you all an email last week. We had Washington Street opened for a short minute, and now it's been closed again between Central and 8th. So on Wednesday, Thursday, I don't even know what day it was, we had a fairly sizable water main break that created quite a bit of pressure and rippled about 65, 70 foot worth of brand new asphalt. Some of the fact that it was brand new asphalt is probably part of the reason why it created such a large space of ripple. The mat was tight enough that the water gained so much pressure from underneath that it just pushed the brick and the asphalt up, and then found a point of weakness and then cut loose. Waterworks has completed the repair on the water line that was the problem. We will be having a combination of Norris Asphalt, Kilbride Construction, and maybe Four Seasons, the contractors that are currently on the same site of the roadway, do the repair. So after speaking with the city engineer, we will probably opt to move the section of damage from its current condition of brick with asphalt on top to full depth concrete, with the rationale that there's so much damage underneath of the asphalt that a lot of the brick will probably be loose or lifted or moved, and so the base will be not secure enough. So it'll probably involve some saw cutting and full depth removal and concrete. So we've spoken with Waterworks about their portion of the responsibility, and so I don't know exactly the ETA on when that will occur. Unfortunately, the roadway will be closed for that duration just because the eastbound lane is still pretty rubbled, and so to let traffic on it is not a smart idea. So it's unfortunate. Could it have been fixed beforehand? I mean, potentially, but at the end of the day, sometimes stuff just happens. It's unfortunate that it happened on 2-week-old asphalt, but it happened. At least we're still in contract with the contractor. We're still outside right here working, so we should have a fairly viable, good solution. That's what I want at the end of the day, is a good roadway, so we should still get that. I know that it probably brings the ear of a lot of folks in and around the downtown area that use that for transportation, so we're cognizant of that and we'll get it fixed. So I did want to update a little bit about the splash pad. Obviously, there's been a little bit of conversation about it. Every time we have a storm, we seem to have electrical problems with it. And so currently it's being run in a manual mode. We have to get some electricians in there to try and figure out, there's some sort of disruptions in the controller space. So we will try and work at getting it repaired. And if it takes more electrical work, we may move to shut things down around the Labor Day weekend. And it's about a couple weeks short of what we would normally do. Get it repaired so we don't have to continually fight it. So not something that we expected to deal with, but you know, stuff happens.
Such is life.
Right? I mean, that's kind of the business, part of the business, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep. All right, thank
thanks.
you. All right.
Okay, just a couple of things. I have an announcement here. The Executive Director of Community Action, Sherry Wilson, is retiring. So there's an announcement there that council may, You may have worked with her over the years. She's been there for quite a few years. I have a DPI Main Street meeting tomorrow morning. I'll be serving on the nominating committee for new board members. So if you know of somebody or if others are interested in serving on DPI Main Street, that's the group that runs our downtown events and activities, certainly let me know. I'll be on that committee through September, selecting board members for 27 on. So, and then I have a landfill commission meeting tomorrow afternoon. Nothing real earth-shattering there in terms of agenda items, other than I know the rain is causing them
I'm sure.
some pretty muddy
Yeah.
conditions out of the landfill, but
Yeah.
otherwise all's good. So that's all I have.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, do you have any?
I also brought the information about Sherry's retirement. She has been a stalwart for the community Thanksgiving dinners and for providing services for Head Start and for many, many families in Burlington. And I certainly would like to congratulate her on her retirement.
Perfect, thank you. Mr. Scott?
I don't know what was covered last week because I missed, but the fire department finished up their strategic plan 2026 through 2030. I was part of that committee, and we're going to get a detailed report on that here in a couple of weeks or so. And then I'm not sure if was anybody here from Water Works last week? I recall. Anyway,
It might have been.
probably the most significant thing to come out of there, and I was late getting to that meeting because I was at the fire department. There's been a number of communities that experienced interruption with services because of their systems being breached by foreign entities. And they wanted to assure the board and all the citizens that that won't happen here because our services are not on the internet. It's all in-house. And for anybody to do what they're doing at the other ones, they would actually have to break in to the waterworks facility. So that we don't need to be concerned about that here. And that's all I have. Been busy otherwise. So.
Awesome, thank you very much. I don't have anything at this time, so.
About Robert.
Oh, Robert, yeah, I forgot he was there. You're so quiet now.
I just wanted to say I've been told that we're hiring some people so that they don't have to farm me out so much and have me help other depots, that everybody's gonna get their own help, and I'm gonna get to stay at home, but we'll see when that happens. So, we are hiring. If anybody knows anybody looking for a good job.
Not with your schedule. No, thank you. Yeah, so that's it.
No meeting next week.
Oh, right.
Skip a
Oh,
week.
so what are we doing next week?
Well, there's a boat tour. The Riverfront Advisory is doing a boat tour, so we'll get you some information on that if you're interested.
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yep.
I move we adjourn.
Can I say one more
Oh,
thing real quick?
yeah, sorry.
I just wanted to congratulate Tim Minot. He started to sound an awful lot like Don. Explanation, but much shorter. So yeah, keep that up. We'll all be good.
Like time shorter?
Give him a sweater vest.
Thank you, okay. Yes, so I
Motion
second.
adjourned, and you
Yes.
second, okay. Weiss,
Yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Kreitzer,
Yep.
Scott.
Yeah.